Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hey AstroDoc. In episode 2, I didn't get to my third segment, the AstroBlast, and this is the supplement video I said I would post. So, in 2024, why did white evangelicals go all in for Donald effing Trump? An atheist and a moral degenerate whose words and deeds so strongly violate what believers claim to believe. We'll have a close look at that, but first, let's have a look at a post-election survey by the Public Religion Research Institute. I singled out white evangelical Protestants because while the survey showed that 85% of them voted for DFT, the proportions were almost exactly reversed among black evangelicals, who do seem to practice what they preach. DFT transgresses every moral obligation imposed on us in Scripture, both in the Hebrew Bible's Ten Commandments and in the teachings and actions of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. The evidence is extraordinarily damning, and we don't have to look any further than DFT's own words. But first, give me some of that old-time religion. And by old time, I mean the Ten Commandments. I'm going to roll this slideshow, and I will have some comments, but I'm going to leave it up to you to compare what it is that we are commanded with what DFT says and does. Number one, the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, have one and the same God, the very same God, and I believe I know who it is not. Behold a contemporary golden calf. In Exodus 12, 3,000 Israelites were killed at the foot of Mount Sinai for the original offense. These are only the least offensive of the obscenities that DFT publicly utters. In their 2016 campaign, Jared Kushner, an Orthodox Jew, kept his faith and kept the Sabbath. DFT's response? Oh dear. The first notorious campaign remark is obviously hyperbole, but the second is not. DFT actually asked Defense Secretary Mark Esper if he could shoot demonstrators around the White House protesting the murder of George Floyd. Oh dear, this is old news, and we might want to leave it there. As hard as I tried, I could find no report of DFT paying any of this massive fine for stealing from banks and insurers. Perhaps someday the rule of law will apply to all of us equally. Those January 6th insurrectionists most certainly were armed, and DFT knew it. Oh well, I suppose if it's only everyone else they're going to shoot, okay then. This must be a pretty important concept to appear both here and back in Commandment 7. Hey, AstroDoc, what about the fifth commandment? Well, once again, I looked high and low, and I was not able to find a single instance where DFT publicly disrespected his father or his mother. But remember, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Okay, those were our instructions back in the day, way back in the day. But about 1,500 years after the Exodus was supposed to have taken place, we found a new teacher who came not to abolish, but to fulfill. Let's see what he had to say. Once again, I'm going to leave it to you to compare what it is that we are instructed to do with what DFT says and does. Let's see. Curse those who bless you. I think I might have that wrong. Immigrants are our neighbors, and we don't live in zoos. Here we have the loser and hater in chief addressing his intellectual and moral superiors. Let's see. Torture for the sake of torture. I am dying to know what the rest of the beauty of DFT might be. A man utterly without honor or integrity blasphemes the ultimate sacrifice. I think DFT made his deal with the devil long time ago. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. See Romans 12, verse 19. Hey, all Christians. This is what DFT wrote in his book, Think Big. I'm not sure that suffer the little children means to be the immediate agency of their suffering. What could be more cruel than to separate a young child from its mother? Finally, a truth escapes the lips of the Prince of Lies. All right then, that brings us to the end of our AstroBlast segment. You know, we all have to make choices, uncomfortable choices, from time to time. But nothing reveals the nature of our character like our deeds, and not so much our words. When we choose one of two mutually exclusive alternatives, we necessarily repudiate the other. So just as it is not possible to serve God and Mammon at the same time, how can it be possible to serve Jesus the Christ, the Anointed One, and Donald effing Trump at the same time? So let's make the choices we feel that we have to make. But let's not delude ourselves about the nature of those choices. Well, alrighty then. That's all for now. And thanks again so much for watching. Click the subscribe button down there or down here at the top of the episode description if you'd like to be notified when I post new content. And when you do eventually decide you can't stand me anymore, well, you can back out of that anytime you like. I also usually provide links to all my sources in the description below. But this time, all of our admonitions in Scripture are attributed in the content. And it shouldn't be too hard to verify that what I've quoted here from DFT's own lips is in fact what he said. So until next time, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.